Okay, so the talking point for a while has been the live-action Little Mermaid. And especially in the last 2 weeks, because the movie released on Friday, and a big talking point has been, the bad CGI in the trailer, and the, Halle Bailey playing Ariel, because for some reason that's controversial. So, I saw the movie, and I'm here to talk about it. And, I'll be honest, I don't like the Disney live-action remakes. Honestly, I don't really even like the live-action, just Disney movies in general that have come out in the last 10 years, like the villain origin stories, except Maleficent. Maleficent was fine because it actually, made actual sense, in, the timeline of Sleeping Beauty. But most of them don't, so that's why I don't really like them. So, yeah, I was going into this movie not really expecting to like it. But in honesty, the first act of this movie is not bad. It's not great. I mean, it's not like I'll probably never watch it again, compared to, the actual animated Little Mermaid, no. I mean, a 2-hour and 15-minute long movie that the animated movie is an hour and a half and gets the same point across and even better. It's just a better movie. I will say that the first act was good. The first shot of the underwater is visually good. And that's a little bit surprising because later in the movie, the underwater shots get less and less and less impressive. And it just felt like as the movie was going on, the VFX and CGI people cared less and less and less because the CGI got worse and worse and worse. Like after Under the Sea, the underwater shots were not good. But Flounder isn't as bad as he looks in the posters. I thought Flounder, for being a fish, and it's hard to take a live action animal and make them have expressions. As you saw that in The Lion King, when Mufasa dies, it's the most heartless thing you've ever seen, because it's hard to make an animal have expressions. But I thought Flounder was fine, whoever, I don't know who played him, but he did a good job. Halle Bailey as Ariel herself was good. I thought she did a good job. Is it as good as Jodie Benson? No. But she's still good as Ariel, and I'm happy that they put her into the park. I didn't want to talk about the, controversial... It's not even controversial, but, the stupid, controversy that Ariel is a black character. It takes place in the ocean. It's supposed to be... Why do you think Sebastian has a Caribbean accent? It's supposed to take place in, a Caribbean English sea. How is this controversial? I don't get why people have such a big problem with casting. When an actor is cast a different race, I don't care. Unless for some reason they would cast, I don't know, Triton as a girl, and that changing a character because of a race, I don't care. But changing it because of male female, then that's a little bit strange, at least to me, because that's changing a core of the character. But the race, Ariel can be black or white, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the character. It changes nothing about her personality. They did change some things about Ariel, though, that I wanted to get into. In this version, she has never been to the surface before, and not once is it mentioned that she's 16. It's mentioned that she's a teenager, but it's never mentioned that she's actually 16. Well, the director explained that she's never been to the surface before because he wanted it to be that she goes to the surface for the first time in the movie. And I will say that this works very well. I think we need to talk about the music, too. The score is surprisingly good in this movie. It's got the part of your world, instrumental throughout it. But I thought the score was pretty good. I mean, I don't usually talk about, like, scores and stuff, but obviously music adds a lot to movies, so if the score sucks, then something's gonna be off. But and another controversial thing for some reason was, like, the lyric changes. I could care less about the lyric changes. The only thing that I cared about is that they got rid of Le Poisson. For some reason, it's a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, but yet they cut a song. And they added some. I don't know. I had an issue with that. Lin-Manuel Miranda, why did you cut Le Poisson and put Scuttlebutt in there? Because I'll get to Scuttlebutt later. It's it's not good. But, like, the lyric change, like, the most noticeable one, I guess, besides, like, the reprise of Part of Your World, because that's just an added song, well, the third one is, the most, like, noticeable lyric change is in Kiss the Girl. The original lyric is, yes, you want her, look at her, you know you do, possible she wants you too, there's one way to ask her, it don't take a word, not a single word, go on and kiss the girl. And then in the 2023 version, yes, you want her, look at her, you know you do, possible she wants you to, use your words, boy, and ask her if the time is right and the time is tonight, go on and kiss the girl. So, it's a little lyric change. People have problems with that. I don't care. It's not noticeable in the movie unless you're singing along to it. Let's get to the characters a little bit. And let's talk about the most unbearable one first. Scuttle, I like Scuttle in the animated version. Probably my favorite character in The Little Mermaid is probably if Chef Louis, probably. But he's not in this movie, so they didn't butcher him. Thank God. But they did butcher Scuttle. Because, oh my God, is Scuttle unbearable. She is played by Awkwafina. And she's not a seagull in this one because that would break the, like, Ariel going to the surface thing. So they made her some kind of bird. It's a real bird that, like, can go underwater for, like, up to 5 minutes or something. And, like, can breathe under there. So that's all good. I could care less, you know. Doesn't really... It's still a white bird, so it's fine. But what makes the character bad is Awkwafina's performance. I don't know if you never watched one of my reviews that I'm talking about Awkwafina. She's the most unfunny comedian, easily in my opinion. And, like, I'm not gonna bash her. Like, I don't know her as a person. Like, she's probably really nice. Like, I don't know. But as a comedian, I've never laughed at a single joke of her. She is the most unfunny person. And when she's put in a comedic role, something needs to change. Sebastian is played by Daveed Diggs. I thought he did a nice job as Sebastian. Sebastian looks terrible in this movie. Sorry. Like, a crab cannot have expressions. So you're just looking at this, like, CGI crab that you would think is like a still picture. Pacing is really, 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 really slow. She doesn't lose her voice. Ariel doesn't lose her voice until an hour in. One of the new songs that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote is called Scuttlebutt. And it's about when Eric, it's in the part where Eric is gonna marry Vanessa, and Scuttle tells Sebastian and Ariel that Eric is gonna marry someone else, and this song is the worst song I've ever heard. And there's not a lot of songs that I listen to that I never want to hear again in my lifetime. This is one of them. It is so bad in so many ways. The rapping is terrible, and the singing is terrible. Because Awkwafina is singing it, and she cannot sing. I'm sorry that I keep beating up this woman. I really am. I don't know her in real life. Like, I'm sorry, but I just do not like her performances in movies. Everyone watching this probably knows the story of Little Mermaid, so there's not going to be a spoiler section to this, but this changes from the animated, so I don't know, click off if you don't want spoilers, but in this version, Ariel is the one that kills Ursula when she, like, becomes big, right, and you, like, giant Ursula, and in the animated version, Eric rams the front of the ship into Ursula, killing her, and then that's what makes Triton believe that, change his opinion on humans. In this version, Ariel is the one to kill Ursula. And, like, that's no problem. You know, I understand why they changed it. You know, that's all good. You know, the character trope of, like, women always having to be saved by the prince in, like, Disney movies is kind of a bad thing. And, like a character like Moana that, like, doesn't even fall in love throughout the entire movie, I think that's awesome. But this, it's gonna sound strange, but let me explain. So, I think this is a bigger deal. I think more people should have a problem with Ariel killing Ursula, because it changes everything, and King Triton should not, he shouldn't change his view about humans, if you really think about it, because he sees Eric kill Ursula, and that changes his opinion on humans, and he trusts his daughter with them. In this one, he does not see that at all. He doesn't even see Ariel kill Ursula. So, how does his opinion just automatically change because Ariel told him that Eric fought Ursula a little bit? How does that change his opinion? Because literally earlier in the movie, she also said that Eric is not a bad person, and he didn't believe her. How does that just change all of a sudden? It literally destroys the Triton character arc. And by changing that little detail, it changes the whole movie. It should change the whole ending, but it doesn't, because they just ignore that and make Triton trust humans anyway. Like, that doesn't make any sense. How could you change a core part in the ending of a movie, but then it's the exact same anyway? It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't. The ending, if you change that little part, Ariel does not end up with Eric. I don't care if the writers or director, whoever made that change, I don't care what, like, message they're trying to push with, like, empowering women, right? And it sounds weird, but again, with that little changes everything about the ending of Little Mermaid. So, I'm not mad that they changed it because they wanted to have Ariel be the hero. I'm mad because they changed something that is a core aspect of the movie, and it has no repercussions in this story. And it should change the entire ending, except it doesn't, because Triton still changes his opinion about humans. It does not make any sense, and this is why the live actions miss core aspects of the movie that they're trying to remake. And this is why the animated versions are always going to be better than the live actions, because the animated versions actually understand core parts of the story that they're trying to tell. And live actions don't, because they're just made for money, and they're not made for quality. And this is a perfect example. That's what I think of it. That's what I think of the Little Mermaid 2023. It's a pointless remake, another pointless remake that, yeah, it made some changes to the character, and honestly, I like the changes to the character, except Triton. Except the ending. like I just said. But yes, it made some changes to the characters, right? And like it needs to. I'm gonna give Little Mermaid. Honestly, I think Little Mermaid is better than Lion King. I think it's better than Aladdin. So I'm giving Little Mermaid a 6 out of 10. I mean, like Lion King, I didn't review when it first came out because I still haven't. I've only seen half of Lion King. I saw Lion King on a cruise, on a Disney cruise, and I walked out of the Buena Vista Theater. It was so bad. But that's a different story. So 6 out of 10 for Little Mermaid. If you want to see it, just wait till it comes on to Disney Plus. It's really not worth seeing in the theater. So there's my thoughts about Little Mermaid. If you enjoyed this review, let me know by leaving a like and consider subscribing. It would make me a very happy man. And let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments below if you've seen it. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Have a magical day, everybody.